Jokic. How good is he, man? I mean, are we okay with saying he's the best player in the league? Because I am. I tried to fight it last year with Embiid, and I was fine with Embiid getting the MVP because to me, his season was better. And if Embiid didn't get hurt this year, I mean, and kept going the way he was going, I would have been okay with giving Embiid the MVP this year. But Jokic is just on another planet, man. He just, yeah. Embiid was on a tear before the injury. He absolutely was, Gavin. He absolutely was. So I'm fine with saying that that Embiid would have won it, but Jokic is just that guy. So Jokic is just that guy. I mean, he is just a point center that can do it all, but is about as athletic as me. Can't jump, doesn't run fast, but he understands angles. He understands positioning. He can shoot the basketball. He can handle the basketball. He is what they call a basketball player. Not enough of that. Not enough of that going around in the NBA. He is a basketball player. So, Joker over here on TikTok, Joker is extremely fundamental. Jamal is the what? The sauce that makes them run. No, he's not. Don't say Jamal Murray is better and makes the Nuggets run. Stop that. Stop it. Jiminy Christmas. If you take Joker off of that Nuggets team, do they make the playoffs? I mean, just ask yourself, do they make the playoffs? They have no inside presence. They'd have nothing. So do they even make the playoffs without him? Stop all the, and we've seen them make the playoffs without Jamal Murray. I'm not saying they're as good a team, but they didn't make the playoffs without Joker. They did without Jamal Murray. I mean, let's go. Let's stop the craziness, people. We love Jamal Murray. Great basketball player. He's not in the same class, though. And we got to stop doing that. My man, Golf Hog. Jokic is excellent, very little athleticism. Basketball IQ is elite. Yes. He is a basketball player with an elite basketball IQ. So that's the thing. Joker is the core of the team. Yes, he is. I like basketball players. That's what I like. And I think maybe that's why I get a little disenfranchised with the NBA is because there's a ton of athletes out there. A ton of them. Best athletes in the world, in my opinion, for what they do. And I know somebody's going to come in here and say, oh, there's better athletes and this and that. Yeah, okay. As far as what they do, I think pound for pound, the best athletes in the world are in the NBA. They just are. So, and hey, what's going on, Charlie? And for what they do, they're just not great basketball players. And I think if they spent more time on fundamentals, they could become better basketball players. Just think about that. Just think about if AAU, because AAU is what's ruining the NBA. Let's not kid ourselves. If AAU basketball just said, you know what? We're going to practice. We're going to make you work on fundamentals. And you had to do those kinds of things. Put those kinds of fundamentals with the athletic specimens that these guys, man, it's crazy. Crazy, but we don't do that. We put an emphasis on getting out there and playing and showing everybody how athletic you are. Okay. But you always notice the best basketball players, even in the NBA, the best ones all have fundamentals. All can do a lot. They can dribble. They can pass. They can shoot. They understand angles. They understand how to play the game. You always notice those are the best guys. Always. Those are the best guys. Say what you want about LeBron. You can hate LeBron. You can think he's this. You can think he's that. Okay, whatever. But if you break all that away, all that hate that you have for him, and you just talk about him as a basketball player, he's been able to be good because as his athleticism has eroded, he's still able to be extremely productive on a basketball court. Why? Because he's a basketball savant. Joker, basketball savant. I mean, look at Luka, basketball savant. Luka's not athletic at all, but who can stop him? Nobody. And I just love basketball. Love it. Love basketball players. So then you got people, see what I'm talking about. You got people like Boss Man. LeBron can't shoot, barely dribble, just power, slams the ball. No skill. That would be somebody who doesn't understand basketball, who doesn't understand anything, but just came in here because he hates me, but I love him. He comes in here to hate on me every day. We love those people because he comes in and says Kansas State loses to backup quarterbacks, but he comes in here every day. You got to love your haters just like you love your fans, don't you? Got to love your haters like you love your fans. Yeah, strong fundamentals are a necessity in basketball to be the best. I shouldn't say it's a necessity to play because it isn't. You can be extremely gifted and extremely skilled at certain things, but all the fundamentals you don't have to have. I mean, look at Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown would be the perfect example. Jaylen Brown can't dribble with his left hand, but Jaylen Brown has the biggest contract in the history of the NBA. Think about that for a second. We're talking about fundamentals, and we got a guy that has the biggest contract in the history of the league that if in the playoffs, when teams make him go left, he literally can't do it. He'll lose the ball. He can only go 2 dribbles and picks it up. He falls down. And that's a guy that has the biggest contract in the NBA. That's why people get frustrated with the NBA for that right there. Literally that reason is because they don't take enough pride in the fundamentals and people get tired of watching it. They get tired of some of the slop. So now in the playoffs, things are different. Game slows down. Guys play a little bit differently. That's why if you can get to the NBA finals, or not the finals, but you as a fan, if you can get past all the garbage and get to the NBA playoffs and actually be engaged, you actually see really good basketball in the NBA playoffs. You do. But it's the other 82 games that people just can't get past. They just can't get past it. So it's crazy. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I love basketball. I do. I love college basketball more than the NBA, but let's not kid ourselves. It is the greatest basketball on the planet. The greatest basketball on the planet. So, but like I said, you got to be able to get past the fluff if you're going to engage in the NBA. You got to get past it. My man, Bill Kernan, Joker worked on his game and saw what he needed to make himself great. No time off in the offseason. I respect that even as a Sixers fan. Yeah. I mean, think about Joker when he came into the league. He was a second-round pick. Nobody thought he was going to be any good, but he got better. He got better. So, and I think, and this is a great point by Golf Hawk. TikTok, my man over here on YouTube says, Jokic is great for the league. He proves that skill fundamentals work. Joker game transcends all eras. I mean, name one he can't play in. And that's the truth. What era could Joker not play in and dominate? What era? He could play in any era. It just goes to show you, you don't have to be the most athletic guy. to go out there and be a good basketball player at his size. I mean, but even Luka's not the most athletic guy, but he's also not 6'2", you know. But Steph Curry isn't the most athletic guy either. But he changed the way basketball is played because he was really good at shooting threes, which is the problem is because everybody wants to be Steph Curry and they're not. But that's a different conversation for a different day. Big Nick, what about Luka? I love Luka. I think here, I'm biased. I can 100% say that I am biased when it comes to basketball players because I'm from Indiana. I grew up right across the river from Louisville. That's why I say I'm from Louisville. And my two favorite basketball players ever are Larry Bird and Oscar Robertson. Those are my two favorite. Larry Bird wasn't athletic. Now, Oscar Robertson was athletic, extremely athletic. But that was a different time. But that's why I just like basketball players. And when people always say Larry Bird couldn't play today, you get these 20-year-old Larry Bird would just be mid today. Really? 6'10", could shoot, handle, move without the ball, high basketball IQ. Him and Luka don't play the same, but there's nothing on a basketball court that Luka does better than Larry Bird. But somehow Larry Bird wouldn't be able to play. Somehow he would just be an average guy today. Okay. Okay. I just don't understand. Look at my man, Chuck. Chuck Miller got on me. Stop glazing. Stop glazing Larry Bird. I love it. I love it. Yeah, man. I'm a basketball guy. I like basketball players. I think it's because when I was good in high school, and I have no problem saying I was good in high school, but a lot of people were good in high school. I wasn't an athletic guy. I knew how to play. I understood how to play basketball, and that's kind of what I did. And that was good enough to get me a scholarship to Xavier to play basketball. So I think I was pretty good at it. So Bird in the top 5 all time. I don't know if he's top 5 Redneck Patriot. I don't know if Bird's top 5, but he's definitely in the top 7, if not the top 5. Definitely in the top 7, if he's not top 5. That would be my thing. So, and yes, in Bird's era, defense was a must. There wasn't as much space as there is now in the NBA, too. We talk bad about the NBA, and I get it. But the problem with that is the way the rules are, there's so much more space now than what there used to be. I mean, they could change that if they wanted to change it, just the defensive 3-second rule. If you allowed a guy to camp out in the lane, that would change all of that. But they changed that rule, so you can't do that anymore, so there's way more space now.